There she is. She's thick. Look at that. The little wood strip. Ooh. Chat, this sounds insane. What's up, guys? How's it going? How's it going? Today we're going to be building the tofu. I have a little doc here that KbdFans had sent over. That way I can check, because there's going to be some changes made to the board. Glad that they are promptly resolving kind of some of these problems. It's definitely good to see that they're listening, you know, to the community. Yeah, I wanted to just talk through the changes that we're going to get made here. So far, the feet will be updated to a thicker height. So before, already they are 2 millimeters, they're going up to a 3 millimeter. And they're also making them a bit larger as well. They moved it up to a 0.65 size. They sent a little photo and there's like 5 different sizes. 0.65 is the biggest. The force brake, after testing, we should cancel the silicone force brake and replace it with stickers. So instead of doing the rubber, they're going to do actually what looks like a whole strip along the top and bottom of the case that will act as a force brake that will be a sticker. There's also a plate issue where it moves around. Apparently when in gasket mount, there's some wiggle room and plate alignment that was messing with the sound. I think they're going to be using some like alignment kind of areas, which will be good. PCB gasket mount, the clearance between the plate and top case was 0, meaning that they were sitting on top of each other essentially. So now there's going to be silicone mounting points between the plate and top case. Yeah, just to prevent the top case from hitting the plate. We'll kind of get more into this as we're building it, but these are just some things that I'm reading to you guys that I received yesterday ahead of the stream, just to mention. Let's get into the package and we'll open up the board. It's a very heavy keyboard. Comes in like this nice carbon fiber carrying case. I think this is kind of like the same that came with like the KBD 8X Mark III, if I'm not mistaken. So it comes with this little like pull tab in the middle that you can kind of like pull up on to help you remove the keyboard from here. It's quite thick. Ooh, okay, there she is. She's thick. It said it was gray. It is gray. I don't know why I said that like it was not gray, but it is definitely more of like a cool gray, I would say. No, it's not made out of tofu, unfortunately. If tofu is this heavy, we might have a problem on our hands anyway. This keyboard is very like, what's the word, like minimal. It is simply just a giant rectangle. Like the side profile is just a big old wedge. Very sharp angles everywhere. On the back though, you do kind of have where the bottom case kind of peaks up and curves, which is kind of cool. But I mean, otherwise on the bottom, you're looking at like nothing. No design. This is the ultimate minimal keyboard lover's dream. Yeah, it's got a good front height in terms of just the typing angle as well. It feels nice so far. We'll see like once we get keycaps and stuff on, but here it's looking pretty sick. But yeah, we've got copper internals and like a walnut kind of wood kind of structure there hiding. It's pretty cool. We have our PCB here. It does use the pogo pin. Oh, and it's got that crazy kind of spring mechanism there. Pretty cool. I think it's really cute how they do that. Tofu TKL BLEV 3.0. So on here we have good amount of support. You can do both 7U and 6.25U bottom row, stepped caps, split left shift, split right shift, ISO enter, regular enter, split backspace. Ton of options on the PCB. Like I said, you do have that kind of magnetic connector, so this should be super easy to build. We also have all of our foams, and then we have some plate options. So we do have 3 different plates, but granted, with the issues that I saw Alex having, I think it would be unwise to use either carbon fiber or aluminum. I think they're going to resonate too much with the case, so we're going to opt to try PC today. I also like PC, so we're going to roll with it. But before we continue on with this part, let's look over this too. I think this is a wrist rest that they sent out. Ooh. Oh wait, this is kind of sick. It's got the same kind of feet on there. It says KbdFans. It's got the walnut wood as well. But yeah, dude, that's pretty sweet actually. That's a pretty cool looking combo there. Look at that. The little wood strip. Ooh. They didn't send me a tool with the tofu, but if you're considering getting this keyboard, you're going to need a very long bit to get down in here. But I wanted to look over this with you guys, just kind of go over the colors, the specs. There is black, silver, the gray, which is what we have. There's red, there's mocha, which this is probably, you guys know me, this is like would have been my favorite color to have received. There's like E-coating U9 E white raw polycarbonate. I mean, tons of colors, which let's build out ours, all right? We have the gray, weight bars copper, a hot swap PCB, a polycarbonate plate. We have the foam kit, we have a carrying case, we have a wrist rest. So all of that brings ours out to 272. 272 for this keyboard. This explosive view is pretty fire, by the way. How they have the batteries and the light showing the magnetic connection is actually pretty cool. Tofu configurator. Aha, look at that. We have wing keyless gray. Bottom case is silver. I don't know if I have a dual mode. Maybe I do, but yeah, I do because I have a switch. So we have a PC plate, foam kit, wrist rest. We have a silver one. Battery, I think there's also a battery in ours. Weight is copper. Okay, here's your total weight, by the way. 3,872 grams, apparently. It's pretty thick. It's quite a premium offering. It looks sick. The main thing now is just like, how's it gonna sound? But on here, let's see if we can see the PC. Ooh, pretty cool looking, I'm not gonna lie. And then if we did like the bottom case, dude, you can do a copper bottom. It's actually pretty fire. This would be so heavy, I would actually be concerned about lifting up on the PC. I feel like I would like, I don't know, but that looks sick. You'd be able to like see the copper through. Can't do the stainless steel with the textures on the bottom. Oh, you can also, dude, okay, they have some cool textures, bro. Dude, yeah, mocha with copper would have been it. They put a lot of work into everything for this, it looks like. Jeez Louise, look at the options here. Pretty wild. Yeah, dude, they've got a ton of options for this. We also have these KeyGeek B1 switches. Okay, these sound phenomenal, by the way. Here you go. These sound really solid. They look really nice. The only thing I didn't like about these, whenever I got them, the bag smelled like straight up like fish, bro. So I don't know what material they used or if it's like the factory they were in or what happened, but dude, it's bad. I've never had a switch smell like that, but bro, I opened up that bag and I almost fell out, dude. I was like, ooh, ooh. It's like, it's pungent. Yeah, for anybody wondering what this is doing, force break, essentially the two pieces of metal, the top and bottom frame touching, was creating vibrations between the top and bottom. So this kind of helps to reduce those vibrations and create less surface area where the metal is actually touching the metal. And the silicone ones that they had here were actually just not doing a great job at absorbing everything. Alex was also saying he was having issues with the feet. I don't remember if he was using like a regular desk mat or a felt desk mat. I'm using like a leather one. So I'm curious if I will have the issue with the feet, because KbdFans mentioned if you're on a harder or more flat surface that these thin feet should be fine. But if you're on a desk mat, that you might need the thicker feet. Maybe we'll be okay since we're on this. It doesn't really have much give to it. Like the board's not going to sink down. I don't have a scale, but it's very heavy. My forearm is flexing a bit holding this. This is very dense for sure. Looking pretty rad, actually. Here's the wrist rest as well. Ooh. With the PC plate, this thing has a lot of feedback. I'm actually very happy so far with this. So far, force break seems to have just completely fixed all the resonance. So, for the build, we have the Tofu TKL. This is the gray. We used KbdFans tape-in radio, which is a double shot KbdFans ABS keycap set. KeyGeek B1 switches, the fish cat food switches. Matches that deep dark blue vibe that we kind of have going on with the build overall. And yeah, we use no foams. We use a polycarbonate plate and top mount. Let's see how it sounds, dude. Sounds pretty good. I'm not a wrist rest guy. I don't really care for it, and personally, but It is premium looking. It's nice to see it, but I'll move it to the side for now. Very cool wrist rest. I like the wood touch. I think this key is like hitting somewhere, because everything else has feedback in my fingertip, like you can feel the vibration, but right here it's like stiff, like hard. So maybe whenever I screwed the plate together, maybe it's like slightly shifted a little this way, and it's causing something to hit right here. That's probably a me issue. We'll swap over to the gaskets and see if that issue persists. The up arrow sounds ridiculous on this board, by the way. Overall, it sounds pretty good. I love the polycarbonate plate because it's giving it that plasticky sound, which I love. It also is giving it a lot of feedback in the fingertips. Like, this feels really nice. Maybe a touch empty in the F keys, but that's not abnormal, I would say, for most boards. But compared to the alphas, it's missing a little sauce up here. But overall, it sounds good. That resonance that I was experiencing before doing the force break is pretty much completely eliminated. There's a kiss, a little whisper of resonance still in there, like the most subtle amount, and it's not like a negative aspect to me. A really nice pop in the sound overall with the switches, the plate, the keycaps. This specific configuration, it sounds nice and poppy for sure. Numero sounding good. Spacebar sounds great. Overall, really happy. So let's swap over to the gaskets. I'm hoping once again that us using a PC plate will cause us to not have these issues that Alex was kind of encountering with the aluminum plate. We'll see. I'm not the biggest fan of how these feet kind of sit in here. I wish there was a different way about it. Kind of weird. It's the square feet, but it has these little like kind of ridges on the outside. So you have to like squish them in. It makes it to where it fits in, but like if they almost like just had a nub that went into the screw hole, I feel like that would have been sufficient. Because this just makes it a little trickier to get right. Chat, this sounds insane. So we've now went to the gasket with the polycarbonate plate. This blows the last build completely out of the water. It pretty much eliminated the top mount resonancy sound that you would get. Still keeps that plasticky pop. It's even more poppy now. That resonance from before is also just completely gone. It's still just as soft. Wow, I'm curious now, and I'm wondering if all it really was just the plate that was having an issue. Because I'm getting, other than earlier with the top mount, it was like rubbing here or something. This is not having the issue now. No resonance, no weird tapping sounds, nothing. So maybe the aluminum plate is just scuffed, or I mean, this sound like genuinely, guys. It feels, it's still got some softness to it. Sounds really good. Let me just let you hear it, because I think that's the best way to describe it. Just let you hear it. All right, so this is same build. So polycarbonate plate, KbdFans tape and radio, PCB gasket mount now, still no foams, and the KeyGeek B1 switches. This is how it's sounding. Sounds really nice. Top mount sounded a bit fuller with a little bit more bass. This is just like really nice plasticky pop now. Still just as squishy, like it has a good squishy typing feel. Spacebar sounds way better here though. It has a way more crisp, clean pop. Okay, so I genuinely do think that the stiffer plate might have been the issue from the previous stream. Granted, the resonance was definitely a problem. Force break 1000% is required on this keyboard. So keep that in mind. You know, the feet issue too, like I said, I'm also using a desk mat that doesn't have give. This is like a leather top, so there's no squish down. So I can literally see the feet like holding the board up right now, and they're not giving in whenever I'm like tapping. So I think all in all, just the conditions of the whole build are different. So if you're more into that aluminum plate, traditional top mount type sound, they are working on the resolution to the problem. So either way, I mean, I still think the board will end up being a great pickup if you like the layout and if you like the design. I think there's no question about it. Let's get into our ratings. So firstly, the design. The design is, to put it simply, it's simple, right? This is like as aesthetically minimal you could probably get in a keyboard. I don't think the only way you could get more minimal is if they chose not to do this and it was just the same dark gray all the way around. But I mean, this, I like that they have this because it gives something. But like the side is just a wedge, big wedge. Like this looks just like a weapon, you know what I mean? And the top down's very clean, very classic. Thin side bezels, which I like. Thick top and bottom bezels, which I like. It makes it feel chunky, but also not too chunky, if that makes sense. The bottom, no designs or anything. It's just flat bottom. I still don't love the feet. I think because the feet are covering up a screw hole. So where the hole is, if they just put like a little silicone nub in there, I think that would be better just to make them fit better. These were a little bit annoying to just like, because you had to like force them in on each side of the square. Otherwise, I mean, dude, this thing has sounded and felt pretty great the whole way through both builds, especially after the force break. Force break, once again, 100% required. It's a good board, man. I mean, it is a little pricey, $272 for our configuration. We have the copper internals. Okay, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. It's definitely more of a premium build, you know. I mean, I really do like the look of this board. Like, it on my desk right now, it's so minimal compared to like other designs I've had recently that it looks good. It's like a good change of pace. It would take away from it though. I was gonna say, I wish there was something here, maybe a visual element or something on the back, but to be honest, that defeats the purpose of what the Tofu design language is. Like, the Tofu design language is meant to be the staple, minimal, literally timeless keyboard. If it's 20 years ago or 20 years from now, it's still gonna look good. I mean, you can't really fault it. So, I mean, I guess I'd give it a 10 in the aesthetics, because it is a very specific aesthetic. It's a minimal aesthetic. It's cool. Typing feel, both. So this is just from polycarbonate, but you can get stiffer with a aluminum plate or carbon fiber plate. Polycarbonate feels very soft, very responsive in your fingertips, okay? Fingers are vibrating in a good way, like almost in a plateless manner. So yeah, you do have that flexibility, dude. You do have the flexibility with the typing feel. It's pretty consistent. I'm trying to see. It's maybe a touch stiffer, like right in the center, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking too hard. It feels pretty plush everywhere. So in that regard, I mean, what more could you really want? I think it has the flexibility. So we give it a 10 there too. In terms of sound, there was a bit of inconsistency, I will say, in the sound in the top mount. It sounded like a little flat in the num row, in the F row. These were like much louder. The alphas are pretty polite. The spacebar was very loud. The mods were also deeper. And the top mount, it was just a little inconsistent from row to row and across the board in the sound department. But with the gaskets, it's actually pretty balanced. I will, however, due to like still having the resonance with the force break in on the top mount, and just overall really requiring it, I think we'll give the sound like an 8. It does sound good, but it required some work to get it here. So overall, that's a 9 out of 10. There's a disclaimer, okay, that there are a lot of things that are being worked on, but the good news is they are being worked on. Some more of those things, like I said, was like they're targeting for a 70A silicone for a very subtle compression instead of overly compressed. You can also use them in top mount to kind of give it that isolated top mount type vibe. So that's kind of cool that they are adding those things in. They're also cutting down on the bottom case. There's like a lip in the bottom case. There's a lip that goes all the way down. It's like a complete 90-degree angle. They're now gonna cut it to where it's like more like that, I guess. So overall, I mean, it's a great board. It is a little expensive, nearly $300. It'll be over $300 to ship it to US. It is a really great sounding board and great looking board. and actually a great feeling board. I actually like how this feels to type on more than the Athena. But the Athena, I think I preferred the aesthetics more. Does it get a smooch? I don't think. I think just because it needs some of these improvements, I don't think it's a smooch today. I do like the board. I do. I'll blow it a kiss. You know what I mean? I'll blow it a kiss. But it needs a bit of refinement before it can get a full-on smooch from your boy. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Until next time, I'll see you later. All right, bye-bye now. See ya. Mwah.